Hello friends, once again I'm your Neri ma'am. I hope you all are learning through this online classes, and I hope you all are enjoying your study in this way. Okay, today I come with a very beautiful poem with a very good message, A Tiger in the Zoo. Okay, let's quickly start with the poet. So George Lancel Norris, 1921 to 2006, was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He is considered as most important Welsh writer of the post-war period, and his literary works have won many prizes. His famous works are Finding Gold, The Loud Window, Phoenix Living Poet series, Ransoms, etc. Let me introduce the poem. The poem written by Lancel Norris explains the agony and helplessness of a caged tiger that lives in a zoo. The poet explains what his life could be if he had been a free animal. The poet has tried to explain about the condition of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun. Here he suggests the helplessness of the tiger who is caged in the zoo, and what are his abilities and powers if he is free, and what he can do if he is free living in jungle. The poem begins with a description of a tiger that is very beautiful and is walking in his little cage. He has a very low space, or rather we can say that very tiny space to live. He has beautiful strips on his skin and has a velvet like a soft pose. But the tiger is not happy and is quite angry about being confined in the cage. The poet says that if the tiger was not confined to the zoo cage, he would have been hiding himself behind the long grass near some water body in order to catch its prey, that is the deer. Also, he would have terrorized the resident of the village around the forest area. But the reality is totally opposite to this. He was confined in a cage which was made up to strong buildings materials, and he was helpless there. He could not show his power to the visitors, therefore never tried to terrorize them. The tiger is described as being powerless and agonized by the poet. He says that during night also he is alone, hearing the voice of the patrolling vehicles of police and looking at the stars. The cage life has totally changed the tiger's personality. The poet is trying to say that the animal, which is famous for its fearlessness and freedom, is confined and sad due to the human being who wanted to derive pleasure by looking at him in the zoo. Here he point out that for the sake of human beings' pleasure, they caged animal for their entertainment, but they don't think about their freedom, their wishes to live as you have right to live with your way of living. The similarly animals have right to live the way they want to live. So we don't have any right to cage them. And this is how poet put satire on how human is selfish, that he never thought about the anyone else. Okay, let's start with the explanations. With the first stanza, he stakes in his vivid strips the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Stalks means follows, vivid means bright colored, pads means pose of tiger, and rage means anger. Here the poet says that the tiger that is confined in the zoo moves around in the cage under his bright colored skin. He further says that the tiger can take only a few steps because the cage is small and it is not easy to move in it. One cannot hear the footsteps because he has a very soft feet like a velvet, because of which there is no sound of tiger's footsteps. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking in the limited area of his cage. He is angry because he is not free. Here he suggests the situation of tiger in cage, how he is helpless. He has a minimum place to live, he has minimum place to walk, and he is angry because he is limited by the area, and he is caged for the sake of the entertainment of a people, he is angry because he is not free. Everyone, no one likes this kind of cageness, or we can say that this boundness of a people. As we all know that we can also feel this kind of caged, because today we all are fighting for this great pandemic coronavirus, and because of that we also are caged in our home. We don't like, because and by this we feel like that our freedom of moving outside is snatched by this, and we won't like it to stay home. But still we have to, because we have to fight this unseen warrior, unseen this we can say that enemy. And that is why we won't be able to go outside of the home. So we have also feelings like caged. Being caged is not good. It is too difficult to survive in this kind of thing. So we haven't any right to do such a things with the mute animals. Rhyme scheme is ABCB, cage and rage. Here he used personification because he refers tiger as a he. Metaphor, because tiger paws are compared with the velvet pads. Here he put an imaginary and he tries to create an image about the tiger. Here also he used oxymoron, use of adjective opposite in meaning, quiet and rage. Come to the second stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. Lurking means to be hidden as a wait for your prey. Here the poet says that if this tiger was free, he would have hid himself behind the long grass near the water bodies, so that he could easily catch a deer in order to have it as its food. Basically, the poet wants to say that the actual life of a tiger is to live in jungle where he could catch his prey and eat it, but the tiger in the cage cannot do so. Here all the way of his normal living life is snatched away by the people for the sake of their entertainment. Here you will find the rhyme scheme is ABCB, because grass and pass. Alliteration is used as the plump and pass the sentence, the sound P is used in it. Here the poet create a very good imaginary and tries to create an image of tiger activities, how it has a power and the fearless animal. The third stanza. He should be snaring around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. Snarling means warning sound made by animals. Baring means uncovered, and a fangs of sharp tooth of animals. Here in this stanza, poet wants to convey that if the tiger would have been free, he would have been snarled around the houses located at the outskirts of the forest. He would terrorize people with his sharp tooth and claws. This would create fear among the people living in the village. It shows his power, that he can hunt anyone, and this is how his fearlessness, his power is shown by the poet. Here the rhyme scheme is ABCB. Scheme is followed by age and village. Onomatopoeia is using words such as denote sound. Snarling is a sound, and onomatopoeia is used to suggest that if you find any kind of sound in the sentence. The next stanza, sorry for this, but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stacking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Concrete means building made of bricks, cement, sand and water. Now the poets come to the reality of the tiger that is inside the cage. He says that the tiger is confined in a strong cell which is made of strong building materials. He further says that as the tiger is behind bars, so he is ferociousness is also behind the bars. He just stalks in the cage. He never tries to terrorize the visitors because his power is restricted by the cage. Therefore, he never tries to terrorize the visitor as he cannot attack them. To attack a people or terrorize them is his basic nature, though he won't be able to do with these visitors, because he know that his power and his strength are bounded by this materialistic things, this building, this cells, and it stop him to terrorize the people and show his power towards them. In this literary device, rhyme scheme ABCB is there, because bars and visitors. Again he use personification. Again he use again poet refers tiger as a he. Alliteration is also behind bars. B sound is repeated. Here we comes to the last para. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant star. Patrolling means to guard or to vigil. The poet says that in the night the tiger hears the sounds of the patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are the vehicles of police which are used to guard at night. So in the night the tiger hears the sounds of these cars. He then stares at the shining stars with his shining eyes. The poet wants to say that the tiger is sad, and as he is confined in the cage, so he cannot do anything. Therefore he stares at the stars in the night and tries to divert his thought towards them. The disappointment, we find that he won't get his freedom, and with that disappointment he is just gazing the stars, because the natural elements in which he used to live were not there. And here he shows the helplessness of tiger, that he could not broke these cells, and he cannot live his life as per his wish and the way he really want to. So here poet urge for this freedom of the animal, and we don't have any right to cage them, bound them for the sake of our entertainment. Rhyme scheme ABCB rhyme schemes like cars and stars. Alliteration, this H sound he hears, and assonance use of I sound with his in a brilliant. I hope you liked it. This okay. So quickly we go through the figure of speech of the stanzas. Number first, he stalks in his vivid strips. It comes to synecdoche because a part of his body strips are used. Metonymy because strips represent the tiger, and alliteration because the sound st is repeated twice. Strips and stalks. The second one, on the pads of velvet quiet, it suggests a metaphor. It suggests metaphor because tiger's soft pads are indirectly compared to soft velvet, and transferred appetite because the adjective quiet, which is actually used for pads, is transferred to a velvet. On a pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Here in this third line, repetition is because quiet is repeated two times, and transferred appetite because the adjective quiet, which is actually used for tiger, is transferred to a rage. Fourth one, he should be lurking in the shadow. This here we find this alliteration because this sh sound is repeated, like should and shadow. Where plump deer pass. Here we find the alliteration, this plump and pass. The p sound is repeated. He should be snaring around houses. Here we find onomatopoeia because the snaring is the represent the sound of the tiger, and that is why we can say that is onomatopoeia. Terrorizing the village. Here we find the synecdoche because the synecdoche is the container village is used to represent the thing contained the villagers. Village is the village is considered for this the living human beings of villager. So here village is used for this villager, and that is why we find this synecdoche, the part of that. But he is locked in a concrete cell. Here we find the metonymy, because concrete cell actually represent the tiger's cage, and that is why metonymy is used. His strength behind bar, it is also represent metonymy. The figure of speech in the above line is metonymy, because strength actually represent the tiger. Alliteration, because we find the sound of B is repeated like behind and bars. The patrolling cars, again metonymy, because cars are actually represent the patrolling policeman. And transferred epithet, it is because the patrolling is transferred from policeman to cars. And stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Here we find repetition. Brilliant word is repeated twice. And alliteration of star, stairs and stars. So here you can find this way this a figure of speech of the importance lines. So you will also note down in your book. I hope you enjoy this poem, and you will understand the importance of freedom of animal, and we have no rights to cage such an innocent animal into the cage them for the sake of our entertainment. I hope you liked it. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.